Fury self-destruct is through the point and it catches violently. Oh!
Back, you think he'll finish on 5 or 2, make it 3.
Oh, rise for justice.
What is up, Washington Justice fans? It has been so long. Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. My name is John Fiasco, Byron alongside Joey, courtside King McDermott. Of course, we are of OTN Media. Thank you so much for joining us here on the official co-stream of the Washington Justice right here on the Washington Justice YouTube channel. Joey, it has been a long month. It has been always since week 8 overall in this year, since the last time the Justice played. So much has changed since then. We don't have a hero pool anymore. There's no more bans. We have all of our favorite heroes back. And especially that means that Tracer is back for Decay. So I'm super excited to see that as well. But it feels like so much has changed over the time. And I'm really excited to see the Justice get back at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tracer back here. Sombra back now playable. Reinhardt as well. And I believe Zenyatta was the last one. So that really opens up a lot of doors for this Justice roster. They did learn a couple things. They've learned a new meta throughout June, a lot of that being because of those hero bans. I'm curious if they continue moving forward with what they've been playing or if they do revert back to some of those picks.
Yeah, it will definitely be interesting. Today's matchup is against the Atlanta Reign. They're currently 4-4 overall. Last time they've played, we'll just go ahead and give a quick recap here real quick, was all the way back in week 9 where they had a 3-0 win over New York Excelsior. Then they lost 3-1 to the Dallas Fuel, who, fun fact, they're playing on July 4th. So we're not the only ones playing on July 4th this weekend as well. They'll be taking on Dallas again in that rematch. And then they lost most recently back on June 12th to the Shanghai Dragons 3-0. So this Atlanta Reign team coming in on a little bit of a losing streak. They haven't been playing the best. But again, the big thing to remember, like we said, that hero pool. Every hero is now available. We're starting to see whether teams have figured out a new version of that meta that we saw back in the May Melee, or are they just going to go right back to what we saw in the May Melee, where it's pretty much a double bubble comp or a rush comp. It'll be really interesting to see how that goes here. Before we throw back over to the watch point desk here, Joey, I was watching the pregame show a little bit, and a lot of them still had questions about whether Decay would be playing or not. Now, again, I don't have the starting lineup as of yet. I am still waiting. I'm watching the Justice Twitter channel here real quick. But to me, I feel like the only reason why Decay was ever a question mark was because of those hero bans that we had last year in the June Joust. I really don't think that's a question that should be asked going into the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a big part of it, but also that's what the coaching staff saw as the best lineup for, whether it be because of the bans, whether it be because of the matchup. I do want to say we do have the lineup, though, and I want to say Decay is starting as well.
Yes, can confirm. They beat me to it. I just didn't have it pulled up. Mag, Fury, Assassin, Decay, Closer, and Bebe will be the starting lineup here going into today's match against the Atlanta Reign. Super, super excited for that. We're going to see our amazing Washington Justice team again. And also, hey, Joey, they're still doing watch parties downtown DC at the Justice headquarters. They're having a massive watch party there tonight and on the 4th, I believe. I believe all the tickets have been sold out, but definitely keep an eye on social media for when those do pop up here. It's going to be really, really cool in the future when those watch parties continue to grow and grow. Joe, I mean, I'm going to say it again. We've had the honor to go down and take a look at that new headquarter. It is absolutely amazing. It is a must stop and see. If you're here in the DMV area, you have to check it out in downtown DC.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome facility they're building out. It's going to look very cool and now open to fans, which is awesome as well. Another great way to celebrate with fellow Justice fans. Again, the co-stream is another option out there. I think they do watch parties on the Discord too. So there are a couple different options out there to go for Justice fans. But on top of that, John, it's been a minute. We have not been able to celebrate the Justice in a game in quite a while. It is now that time. It's been 3 weeks at this point. So I'm glad we're finally back in action up against the Atlanta Reign. The record's pretty close. The Justice sitting at 5-3. Atlanta at 4-4 at the moment, both with a +5 map differential.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into the Summer Showdown, again, this will be the first playthrough for all of these teams. So for placement-wise for the Summer Showdown, they're all at 0-0. So we won't pay too much attention to that. The overall standings, though, this is where it gets really interesting. In the overall standings, the Justice are in 6th with that 5-3 record, like you're saying. Atlanta was a little bit closer prior to some of the results earlier today. They're now down in 9th place at that 4-4 record for Atlanta. This was an Atlanta team that had a pretty good following the past couple of years, that had a very strong team as well that this Justice team kind of struggled against. Now we're going to see this Atlanta Reign team go up against a brand new Justice roster. We've been saying it all season long. This roster cannot be compared to the rosters we've had in the years past. It's just not, you just can't do it. And this Justice team is going to be taking on a tough Atlanta Reign team that's had a little bit more success here. I mean, again, the last time they played was back in week 9, and that was back in the June Joust. Granted, it didn't go too well for them, but still, they're coming in here. They're hungry. They're coming off of 2 losses. So they're going to be looking to possibly take a win here against our Justice today.
But we're not going to let them have a win, fam. We are not here at the Justice. Again, the Justice have looked very good. It's been a while since they've been on stage here, or on the virtual stage, rather. But overall, we saw a lot of great corrections from the kind of hiccup matches there in May, moving into June. A lot of that was adjusting to those bans, and now they're gone. Again, and this is going to be the big topic for today for a lot of teams, and even moving into the weekend. Do teams fall back to that old meta, or do they continue forth with what they were playing in June? I personally think you're going to get a hybrid. I think some teams are going to be very comfortable on that new meta that kind of evolved. Other teams might drop back a hero or two. Some will probably revert fully back to it. I think the Justice, just being as diverse as they are, as having so much talent within this team that they do, they kind of have some options to even switch it up from map to map.
Absolutely. With that, let's go and throw it back over to the Watchpoint desk. They are previewing tonight's matchup, so let's see what the desk has to say.
Propel them forward and get some of these wins. We've seen a bit of a return to the Winston compositions, primarily on some maps, and that's where I think the Washington Justice, they're really happy playing that Winston Tracer composition. For the Atlanta Reign, though, this is going to be a big question mark for them. They looked fantastic in the June Joust, of course. They slowed things down playing Orisa compositions, then also turned it up playing some Winston. But the point being, Atlanta Reign, they looked really good in the Summer Showdown. Can they keep that up in the Summer Showdown? Excuse me, they looked really good in the June Joust. Can they keep that up in the Summer Showdown? Because this is a team that has its ups and downs. Now they have a pretty decent DPS line. They have Kai to play that long range hit scan. Edison can play that Tracer if they need it. And then of course you have Pelican, who has stand-up performance on the Echo in the June Joust. How is this team going to adapt to hero pools opening up? How are we going to see them flex over to some of these Tracer compositions instead now when they are available? Some big question marks from the Atlanta Reign going up against a really good Washington Justice team.
Right on. Now it is time for bold predictions presented by Pringles and Costa. I heard there was something you want to get off your chest.
Yeah, it's one of those things of when I saw everyone not go for Atlanta, I was expecting Washington to be like a niche
So
pick
we
here.
did.
Yeah, well, sorry, so we did. But here's what I thought is like, so I want to get the band back together. My hot take, my bold prediction. I'm going for the Atlanta Reign. I'm actually going to flip on myself. Seeing that match between the Paris Eternal and the San Francisco Shock, I think versatility is going to be so important in this meta right now. And I don't see that from the Washington Justice yet. They're very good at those Winston compositions, but when that doesn't work, they seem to fall apart. While Atlanta Reign seems to play a lot of everything at a very high level. So I think Atlanta Reign's going to edge it out, but it's going to be very close. Easy flip.
Is this a hot take? Or like bold?
I mean,
Bold prediction. It was very bold.
Let's make it official.
Wow.
Pa-pow.
Okay.
There it is. Let's go, Zoe.
Let's go. Let's actually get
I feel like
Costa.
I feel like I can't trust Costa anymore because he just makes pets and then he flips them over. It's like, what's the point?
He
then?
can do
Why am I
that.
trying to
Is
copy
that
my
borderline
homework, Johnny?
cheating?
No, it's not cheating.
that-
What do you mean?
No? Okay.
It's still before the game.
All right.
so- And no one's stopping you from doing it. You could have done it.
Johnny, you wanna flip
didn't
with
do
us?
it.
You want to be
No,
bold?
no, I'm
Anyone
gonna
else?
stick with my guns. I'm gonna stick with my Washington Justice spread. Absolutely.
Yeah.
PK is in the lineup.
Same.
So,
Me too.
Okay.
that's all.
All right. Sure.
I'm just
sure.
following Johnny by this point.
That's the spirit. Well, the thing is, Costa is playing with house money still, right? He's far ahead.
True.
He can just drop it. Like, doesn't matter. However, everything's on the line for me.
Everything to
I
lose.
could become, I could become the ultimate turtle of the desk, and we don't want that. So let's see where this one takes us. And for all the action, we once more hand it over to Bren and Josh. Guys, where do you stand? We're now on a 50-50 split. What's it for you? Is it Atlanta? Is it Justice? A bit of both?
What are you thinking?
I think, we're split as well. Because I think the Atlanta Reign are going to take this. I don't know. I feel like the general narratives are kind of forgetting the last tournament that we witnessed, where the Atlanta Reign were looking, pretty good, and the Washington Justice. I was like, ooh, what's going on here? This is a team that everybody was hyping up and gassing up, and they were kind of flopping. So I don't know. I don't have as much faith in them as a team. But you think that this meta might be favoring them, Josh?
Yeah, and also one of my more firm opinions is that it's not a bold prediction to go for a coin flip, Custer. You just flop from one aspect to the other with perfectly split 50-50 with all of the other people, and you're like, I'm going to boldly predict the other side of the coin.
I think it's bold to flip because then you have all the risk of being wrong and flipping, and then you have that tragedy of like, I was right and then I flipped, and then you feel bad about yourself, and then you like
Honestly,
crumble down and doubt everything that ever happened.
A flipper should get you -2.
What?
True.
Minus a point.
Yes.
I don't know. I've
Yes.
never seen
Making
a
up
penalty
rules.
in there
Yes.
somehow.
No.
Yeah,
That's
I-
with me. Or
What do you mean by
minus
-2? Do you mean
one?
like
I
the
don't know.
prediction tables that you've got going?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're going to pull it back here since everyone's talking about flip-flopping their picks now. Custa, I can't believe you. Over there, your bold prediction is to flip to the Atlanta Reign? Joey, apparently he gets paid to comment on Overwatch. I mean, I think that's a pretty bad prediction. I wouldn't even call it bold. I call it dull. But hey, you know, it's Custa's pick. It is what it is. But yeah, I think he's going to be wrong. But yeah, so there's your bold prediction. That's what the Watchpoint desk had to say about it. Just before we head into the matches, a little housekeeping here. We want to make sure you guys get those in-game tokens for Overwatch League skins in-game. So this is what you need to do. Unfortunately, those coins will not be earned here on the official Washington Justice YouTube channel for the co-stream. But what you can do, pull up the official Overwatch League stream in another browser. Put it on mute. You don't want to listen to those guys anyway. You want to hang out here with the Justice fam and then just watch it here. That way, you still get that in-game currency for all those amazing Justice skins you want to buy in-game. But you also have to make sure your Blizzard account is linked to your YouTube profile, and then you'll be set and good to go from there, earning that. Joey, super excited for this matchup. Like you said, it has been a hot minute or two since we have seen this Washington Justice team play, and we are just moments away from the first match for the Justice here in the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while since we've seen the Justice play. And again, they looked so hot last time we saw them on stage. They were just on fire as a team. Communication was on point. Very few ultimates wasted. Everything looked very fluid. They didn't overuse ultimates as well, which is another big issue for some teams in the league right now. They were able to be conservative with some of them, hold them to use only what they needed to recapture a point or to take advantage of a certain area. They did a very good job of that, and I'm hoping that continues to carry on now that we're into July.
Absolutely. And you did hear the desk talk about it a little bit again with those hero bands being gone. We're seeing the reemergence of Tracer. And Tracer, we all know Decay is very, very talented at playing. Sombra coming back as well. Assassin playing Sombra incredibly well, also back in the May Melee. Here we see the starting lineup for the Atlanta Reign. It's Edson, Pelican, Gator, Hawk, Iris, and Massa. That is your starting 6 for the Atlanta Reign. And yeah, I get it. They've been playing decent. Yeah, you know, if you want to go back to the June Joust and you want to talk about how, you know, the Justice struggled a little bit, again, that was mainly because of the hero bans. You know, there's a lot of things they had to figure out. You know, they played the very first day of that week after the hero bans came out. They were literally part of the forefront of the teams trying to figure out what that new meta was. And yeah, it took a while. It took them a while to do it, but once it clicked, you saw them turn around on those winning ways, and we saw the Justice return to the team that we all know and love. So you know, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think they're going to come out strong today, and we do see the maps now as well. Busan, Junkertown, Volskaya, Kings Row, and Ilios will be the maps on today's radar. So kicking things off with Busan, this is a map that we have historically looked pretty good on. We did end up in that really, really tight match a couple weeks ago. We did lose this one. I believe that was up against the Shock, if I remember correctly, in that tiebreaker setting. So falling there was tough, but at the same point, we have shown a lot of resiliency here, and I think Busan is going to be a good map to kick it off for us.
Yeah, Busan is going to be a great map to start everything off at here. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh the stream here real quick. Notice it's getting a little blurry here for everyone, so I'm going to restart that connection before we hop in. Looks like we should be good to go as we are loading now into Busan. Let's go and toss it back in game. So we head into map 1 between the Atlanta Reign and the Washington Justice. It is Summer Showdown time. It's all about that placement. They have a good chance to jump out to a good seeding here in the Summer Showdown with a win today over the Atlanta Reign. Again, the Justice's next match comes on July 4th. It would not be July 4th without the Washington Justice playing. That is for sure. They'll be going up against the Miami Mayhem. That will be fun to watch here coming up this Sunday as we are now running on to the map here in Busan. Both teams fighting it out. Both teams taking the high ground, trying to feel each other out, looking for that advantage. Decay on Sombra, looking for that mobility. using the teleport.
Yeah, a little
to
bit of a
advantage.
different play here coming out from Decay, going with the Symmetra to kick things off. And again, guys, hero bans are gone, so that Tracer is available. We've seen him play Tracer here before, but at least to kick things off, pulling out the Symmetra Assassin on the Mei.
Yeah, definitely not what you would think here, but it is pretty much a mirror comp here for both teams. Both teams looking for that advantage, taking the fight up high, then using that teleporter from Sombra to get down low. And it's going to be the Atlanta Reign capping the point first. And they will start their journey on the way to 100% as the Justice will meet them back up top again. We'll see if this fight turns out differently. Hawk in Diva has the ulti ready to go. The Mortality Field is down for the Reign. Now finally gets taken out. Baby taking out Gator as well. Hawk still just putting damage. Looking to take down the teleporters as well. And it's going to be a team win for the Atlanta Reign. It's Edison just popping off on that Symmetra, and Justice are going to have to try to regroup and figure something out.
Yeah, Atlanta getting off to a really hot start. They have ultimates to play with as well. Symmetra's ult is up, Mei's ult is up, Diva's ultimate is up, and Masa getting pretty close for that Lucio ultimate at 80%. The Justice ticking up as well, though. Quite a few entering 90 now, so they will have some to play with here shortly.
Now Decay coming in, still on the Symmetra. Uses the ultimate, gets the barrier down, and starts popping off. It's Closer, Decay, and Mag. Pushing the Reign back. They have a chance here to finally take the point back from Atlanta. Closer and Fury taking down Iris and Hawk, and the Justice will go ahead and cap after 67% has ticked away for the Atlanta Reign. Now the Justice will look to hold on, try to match that, if not beat it. And taking a look at those ultimates right now, there's 3 up on the side of the Justice, Assassin, Mag, and Fury. Then Pelican and Hawk on the side of the Reign. It's 3-2, but it's 3-3. Massa has it as well, and Iris not too far behind.
Yeah, Massa having that ult is going to be a big difference maker. Closer only at 22% on his Lucio. Bebe and Iris will both have ultimates up here shortly, too.
The Blizzard is down. Atlanta almost winning the point back, but just able to hold on just in time. Fury doing everything he can to stay on point, but it's not going to last too long, or it may. Yeah, the Justice actually hold on there, managed to push the Atlanta Reign off. That's a strong hold. That fight did not look like it may have been going in their direction, but they somehow managed to turn it around.
Feel the Fury coming up clutch in the Baby Diva form, just laying down the damage, tapping off.
The Reign jump back down on point. They'll go ahead. So the Justice beat it by 1%, but the Atlanta Reign win it back. Now they're into the 70s. Justice will have to find a way to get control of the point back again. Now Decay on point. Still holding on. Picks up the double kill. Now just got to get rid of Pelican's Mei. He's doing everything he can to possibly delay. He'll get all the way up to 98. It's a smart move by Pelican, getting almost all the way up to 99. Knew it was pretty much a death sentence, but it was a strong play from Pelican to ensure that they got the most out of it. Now the Justice at 80%. We'll have at least one more major team fight to try to win. Now Mag using the Earth Shatter. Decay picking up the double kill as well. Baby taking out the Immortality Field. Assassin taking down Pelican as well. And the Justice are going to hold on here as they've now hit 99%. Overtime is starting to tick away. One last fight to try to hold on. Hawk trying to get back on point just to reset overtime just enough to get the Reign back in. Justice holding on to it. They're coming up from the bottom. Mag taking down the Immortality Field as well. Decay looking to attack the Batline. Mag and Fury. Baby all popping off. They're trying to close it out here on point 1 of Busan. It's Assassin with the double kill that will secure point number 1 on Busan. An absolutely fantastic hold by the Washington Justice. Lost the initial point there. Atlanta ticked it all the way up to 67%, but the Justice never gave up. Kind of regrouped after losing that opening team fight up high. Dropped down low, and they were able to fight their way back. And Fury, back when Atlanta, probably should have recapped this, is popping off on Baby Diva like Joey was saying, picking up the double kill on Edison and Massa, really securing that point and not giving it back up at just 40% for the Justice. That was absolutely clutch on the side of Fury on that first point. Now on to point 2 for Busan. Decay pulling out the McCree. Assassin still staying on the Mei for now. We see Pelican on the side of the Rain with everyone's favorite mechanic. It's Torbjorn. Assassin takes down Pelican on that Torbjorn. Decay attacking that back heel line for the Rain. Bebe gets taken out. The Justice looking to try to hold on. Neither team has capped this second point as of yet. But the Rain will, after winning that team fight, the Justice is unable to hold on. Staggered just a bit. And the Rain will cap the point first, and they'll start their journey up to 100, and the Justice will have to regroup.
And we saw this happen last match. The Justice ended up giving up. Then they had some good strongholds after that. So we're very capable of coming back from this situation. On top of that, the ultimate situation already looking a lot better than it did in map 1.
Decay with that Deadeye, he'll use it. Trying to push him off, looking for that angle. Can't get a kill down from the Deadeye. Was able to push them off the point just enough that the Justice could probably get better positioning here. Now it's Pelican still staying on Torbjorn. Molten Core out for Pelican. And take out Decay with that ultimate use. Now Fury back on point. Closer's ultimate up and protecting the Justice as well on point. They are trying to fight their way back, and they will go ahead and cap it 55% down for the Atlanta Rain. And now the Justice will look to hold on. They might even push up here a little bit to try to hold them off as much as possible.
Yeah, Justice is looking very healthy here. Again, a lot of ultimates used, so they do have some time to start charging these back up. Assassins is available. Mags is at 80%, but not too much else to work with for the Justice. On the side of Atlanta, they do have that Diva ultimate up. Not easy to execute on this particular point, but it is usable if they can get it behind the back line.
Assassin with the Blizzard ready to go, just waiting for the Rain to come in. Decay with the Deadeye once again, can't find anyone. Blizzard down for Assassin. The ult's being popped on both sides. Mag taking down Gator. And once again, Pelican using the Molten Core, on point. It's going to push the Justice back off. They still have possession of the point now, hitting 50%. Shades of point 1 here on Busan. Now on point 2. So Justice now surpassed the Rain in total percentage. Hawks doing everything.
And the Range is not able to recap this one yet. They're slowly ticking it up, but the Justice giving them so much trouble. They got a whole nother 10% or so on that as Atlanta tried to cap it off. Ultimates are starting to tick up, though, so with the Justice buying time, not only are they getting a healthy percentage out of it, but also getting closer to those ultimates for a potential retake coming in here later.
Justice regrouping and coming back. A little curious that we haven't seen Tracer. But McCree on this point works pretty well. So Edison using the Deadeye as well. Both Deadeyes come out. And Edison, my goodness, with a triple kill from the Deadeye. That is going to help them hold this point, and the Justice are going to have to try to regroup. Fury's going to have to do everything he can to try to delay this as much as possible. The self-destruct coming out. Hawk will take down Fury. It's in overtime. It's ticking all the way down and just back in time to reset it. was Closer. Now Mag switching over to everyone's favorite hamster. Doing everything they can to try to reset that overtime. The Justice are looking to get the point back. It's going to be a tough one here. It feels like they are staggered just a bit. And that will do it for the Reign. They will finish the point off. It's tied up at 1 point apiece, and we go to critical point number 3 for the first map.
Yeah, a really good defensive hold there from Atlanta. The Justice able to take back the point initially. They ticked it up to, I think it was around 64%. Atlanta getting that rehold. The Justice Ultimates just coming in slightly behind, not enough to work with to retake the point once again, as Atlanta does finish it off, ties us up, and we go to point again. The Justice have historically done pretty well on this point. We'll see what they bring out here. It looks like Decay so far starting out on the Symmetra.
Yeah, it's another one of those maps where the initial battle takes place on the high ground, then you want to quickly move down to the actual point. We'll see Edison on that Symmetra as well. Both teams move out as quickly as possible. And Atlanta will look to make that rotation here around on the backside of the Justice. The Mortality Field is taken down. Gator getting a double kill as well after taking down the Immortality Field. Gator's just popping off on this Reinhardt right now. Almost single-handedly won that fight, and the Atlanta Reign are going to have the first chance to cap the point.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be their third first cap in a row. So Atlanta getting things done early on here. And yeah, Gator was just a monster in that fight, laying down the damage, using his shield effectively as well to defend his teammates, just like a perfect Reinhardt's going to do. He played that very, very well.
Atlanta through 15% here on the third point of Busan. Iris on Baptiste trying to do everything he can. It's not going to be enough. Fury's going to take him down. Gator has Earth Shatter ready to go. Not much coming of it. As Mag now makes his move on, well, closer to the point on that high ground. Taking down Hawk as well. He'll drop down, and the Justice will go ahead and finally get their first cap here on the third point. 43% done for the Atlanta Reign. Now the Justice will look to hold and stop the Reign from trying to recap.
Yeah, really good recap there. They didn't have to use Mag's ultimate as well, so that is still available. Assassin's ult up as well. Fury getting very close, as is Closer. And on top of that, Symmetra and Decay able to set down some of those turrets to get ready for this next push.
Yeah, I can't tell you how clutch it is to be able to hold on to your ultimate win. It's almost like you feel like you have to use it in that team fight to give your team the advantage. Sometimes it's better just to hold on to it, and maybe to pair it up with another ultimate from another teammate. It takes a lot of control to know when to use your ultimate and when not to use your ultimate, because that way you set your team up for success in the long run.
Yep, and you see it there once again. Mag using his ultimate that time as well as Assassin, pairing those two up very effectively, and they keep a few available. They still have Decays and Furies up, neither used in that fight. So again, tethering their ultimates and feathering the usage of them very effectively.
Now at 50% for the Justice on this final point here in map 1 for Busan. Right now, use that teleport. They're looking to drop down. Pelican has the Blizzard ready to go. The Reign's so close to trying to recap, and they're blowing their ultimates as well. There goes the Blizzard. It's Pelican taking down Assassin as well. The Reign are going to win this fight, and they're going to go ahead and recap. Justice getting all the way up to 77%. The Justice will have to find a way to get back into it, but it's going to be tough. 4 ultis up on the side of the Reign. Edison not far behind on that Symmetra. Gator has his ultimate ready as well on that Reinhardt. Blocks Mag's ultimate. They're pushing the Justice back. They're now at 80%. Guess they're going to have to try to regroup. Assassin gets Blocked from behind by Pelican's Ice Wall. Now the Rain at 90%. The Justice are going to have to run back to the point really quick. They have one more team fight. Try to get possession of this point back to take map 1. Now into overtime. Justice doing everything they can. Gator, who popped off earlier in this map. Edison picking up a double kill as well. Gator with a double kill on Fury and Mag. And the Rain are going to hold on, and they will take map number 1. They will take Busan and the lead. 1-0 in the series so far. I mean, that's just a tough way to lose the map. The Justice didn't play it bad. It just feels like Atlanta was the more aggressive team. They were able to use their ultimates as effectively as possible. They paired it up. I just feel like it really came down to that ultimate usage at that last team fight. Just the Justice did everything they could to possibly hold on to it, and they were unable to do so. We'll take a look at Edison. Had that really impressive Deadeye here back on point 2. Triple kill, finding Closer, Mag, and Assassin. Was overall a very, very tough.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's
Tough
largest
play there
and
for
fastest
the
5G
Justice.
network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Xfinity, the preferred internet provider.
So map 1 not going in favor of the Justice. And map 2 coming up here on the other side. It's going to be Junkertown, the escort map. So we got to throw back into the caster desk here as well. Joey, just quick thoughts here from what we saw there on Busan. I mean, again, it's not like the Justice played bad. I mean, you got to give Atlanta some credit here. They played incredibly well. The Justice, I mean, they gave them everything they possibly could. And they just ended up being the better team here, especially on that third point. The Justice really needed to win that last team fight before turning the possession back over to the Rain on point. They were unable to do so. The ults were not in their favor. And just the Rain timed it perfectly, and it was enough to shut the Justice down. They were able to cap it off. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see if you're rooting for the Rain or any team in Overwatch, is you want to see them use that ult economy and that positioning and the timing all together in a beautiful little package there to secure that point late in the game. I mean, it's a big change, a big game changer, I should say. It was a very, very tough map to lose, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Atlanta played it very well. And you mentioned it, I believe, a little bit earlier on in the map, is just how well Gator was playing on that Reinhardt. That ended up being a huge difference maker, not only offensively, but his shielding was really well timed. The way he was using his ultimate was very effective. Atlanta played around him extremely well in those close choke points. And in the end, that ended up being a huge difference maker for Atlanta coming out.
Absolutely was. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and put Busan behind us. We'll go ahead and turn the page here. We'll be going to Junkertown will be the next map here. And Junkertown, again, last time we played on it was back in the June Joust. Hero bans were a thing. It was a map that was not very kind to this Justice team. They kind of got stuck fresh out of the gate trying to push the payload. It didn't really work well for them. They really didn't even make it out of that first village area before you make it to the first checkpoint. It was just a very, very tough map. So outside of the hero bans now, the fact that everything is available now, it'll be kind of curious to see how this Justice team approaches Junkertown, a map that, like I said before, they just really struggle on for some reason.
Yeah, Junkertown has definitely not been one of our better maps. I don't know if we've actually won a game on Junkertown as of yet. With that being said, there's a first time for everything, and that could be today. It's tough to lose Busan, but we were pretty competitive throughout every single one of those points. In the end, Atlanta did take that first victory, but now it's time to get our first win on Junkertown. We're going to load in here. We've seen them change up comps so far in the first map of today. We'll see if they have any different changes compared to what we saw last time on Junkertown as well.
Yeah, I feel like you almost have to bring that Tracer and Sombra back out. Like, if you're able, whether you're on offense or defense, whether you're pushing the cart or you're defending the cart, having two mobile DPS players like a Tracer and a Sombra be able to get on behind the enemy team's back line, attack their support players. That has to be a massive, massive play here. Junkertown in the beginning part, coming out of the offensive area where the push begins, there's a lot of different ways to kind of sneak around. There's a lot of different ways to use those buildings, those corridors, those rooms as cover and make your way to that back line and just really cause a lot of problems with Tracer's recall. And with Sombra's, I'm blanking on the actual term for it. The teleporter she has. The fact that you're able to dive behind the back lines and have a quick way out makes both of those incredibly dangerous here going into Junkertown. I would fully expect to see both of those picked here.
Yeah, there's definitely a few possibilities out there in some different combinations, and we've seen other teams run quite a few on here. Again, the Justice have struggled on this map historically, though, so compared to what we've seen previously, I wouldn't be surprised if they have either maybe an off-meta hero ready for this map, or if they have some kind of change in composition, because what they've tried before hasn't quite worked. Now, it could have been the opponent, it could have been the meta. Like, hero bans have obviously had a big effect on a lot of different teams. I'm just very curious what they do load in here on their next chance at Junkertown.
Absolutely. We're going to throw it back in for this really awesome hype piece that the league's put together for the Justice. Gotta love it. I mean, look, there's nothing better than a nice hype piece about your team going into the second map after losing a very, very tough map in Busan against a very tough Atlanta Reign team. This is where they bounce back. And Joey, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like we could possibly pick up our first win on Junkertown. I feel like they're going to be able to bounce back. I am really curious, like I was saying before that piece there, what Decay and Assassin is going to lock in for their DPS here initially. Because at least in my mind, that Tracer Sombra almost feels like a great chance there to really cause a lot of backline havoc for this Atlanta Reign team.
Yeah, Decay and Assassin, whoever they lock in is going to be a big question mark here going into Junkertown. The other question mark for me is how do we shut down Gator? Again, Gator was just a monster there on that first map of Busan. He came out, he shielded very effectively, used his ultimate very effectively. He was just a monster on that Reinhardt, always getting into the way and throttling the Justice plans. They got to find a way to work around him or shut him down earlier. Again, I think the obvious solution is diving the back line here for the supports. Every single Overwatch player already knows that, but it has not been easy for the Justice to get back there as of yet. Going back to what you were saying with a hero change, something like a Tracer could make that a lot more easier to do and potentially turn Gator around a little quicker.
Absolutely. Any kind of distraction, whether it's the back line or the tank line, you get the other team to look behind them. That's a massive advantage. The Justice will be on the attack first. The Atlanta Reign will be on defense first. And as of right now, if nothing changes, they still have about 30 seconds to go here. On the side of Atlanta, they're locked in. It's going to be Symmetra, Mei, Reinhardt, Diva, Baptiste, and Lucio. The Justice still have 20 seconds to change their mind on what they want to do here. But as of right now, Decay's showing that Ashe.
I knew as soon as you said that it was going to change.
There you go. I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, they like to toy around a little bit, just mess around some things at the beginning. Some players even just use Symmetra to use the teleporter and then switch back to something else. I think he probably will stay on Infer here, but we'll have to see.
Atlanta looking to hold on to that high ground just to the right coming out of the spawn point. Because they're holding that high point, the Justice will be able to move that cart just a little bit, but as soon as it starts moving, Hawk drops down. Atlanta definitely with the advantage here, holding the high ground. Have a couple billboards up there they can hide behind as well. Now it's Decay using that teleporter to really cause some havoc there, diving back behind them, and Atlanta's got to drop down.
Yeah, can we talk about how Decay just turned Symmetra into a Tracer with a beam there for a moment? Just a beautiful flank coming out, absolutely annihilating damage onto that support line, taking down Gator as well in the end. And again, that's the key here. Find a way to take down Gator. Usually you go through the supports first. Taking down Gator is going to allow them to move this, and he's going to take out a very big key piece for that Atlanta Reign side.
It's like Decay was like, wait, I heard John call for my Tracer. How about I just pull out a Symmetra here and just pick up a double kill and start pushing this cart? That is the start you want to see. That is how you want to see this Justice team bounce back from losing map 1. You know, that's the start you want. They're pushing the cart. They're fighting effectively. Their rotations are great. You can see their communication is great because they're able to make these backline dive plays like you're seeing right now. Fury, Decay, again, picking up more kills here. Edison and Gator already dropping. Decay popping off on this Symmetra. This is how a team bounces back after a tough loss.
And just to say it again, this is a new composition. We have not looked good on Junkertown before. They've come out with something fresh, something different. Decay bringing out the Symmetra. Assassin also playing very cool flank plays with the Mei. That's ending up working out marvelously for them so far as they move forward to potentially capture point 1 here.
Yeah, everyone's favorite Ice Queen, Mei. Assassin playing her incredibly well. Pelican putting down the Blizzard. Self-destruct coming out from Hawk as well. Now it's Fury's time for the self-destruct. Won't catch anyone. The Justice will have to go ahead and regroup. The Reign hold on just inside 2 meters to that first checkpoint here on the push. But if you're the Justice, you have to feel pretty good. I think that might be their farthest push on Junkertown that I can recall, at least this season.
Yeah, I think that's by far their best play so far in Junkertown. So a really good start so far. Neither side with too many ultimates to work with. It looks like both Baptiste will be up here, and there is a Symmetra ultimate available for Edison on the Reign. Not too much to work with for the Justice yet. The Mei ultimate is the next closest at 85%.
Now Justice coming around the back side of Junkertown. Both teams looking for the advantage as now the Justice look to push up a bit. Under a minute on the push. They're so close. They're probably right about 8 meters away. But this Atlanta Reign team just does not give up. They are causing all kinds of problems right now. The cart's now being pushed backwards even more. The Justice now with 30 seconds left. It's Assassin looking to come around back in, but it's the Maywall from Pelican's going to block Assassin off. Assassin and Mag both able to take down Gator and Edison. They have a chance here.
This is the play here as the clock is just ticking down quickly. The Justice need to get something done here quickly.
They have to run back. It's Assassin just ice walling on point, trying to force that overtime. And that will be enough. They don't get to the first checkpoint. Again, Junkertown continuing to be a struggle for this Justice team. Was one of their better pushes here, though. We'll give them credit for that, but that is just tough being unable to get to that first point. Now they're going to have to play incredibly well on defense here. Otherwise, they may be looking at going down 2-0 to the Atlanta Reign here early.
Yeah, it's tough. This map has eluded the Justice team, and they looked so good at the beginning, John. They started pushing it. They got to the door so quickly. Unfortunately, taking a little bit longer. I believe it was Masa staying alive down there, jumping around on Lucio. They weren't able to kill him off quick enough, and in turn, the point did not get hit. They were not able to move that payload forward just slightly off, and that ends up being a huge difference maker as they don't get that first capture.
All right, it is time to play some defense here, Justice. They will have to hold this cart back. For the Reign, it's pretty simple. They just got to get to that nice little mark on the ground. They don't have to get all the way to the first point. And Justice holding that high ground as well. They'll look to cause some issues here for the Reign as soon as they come out. I don't think Edison's going to stay on far. I mean, he might. No, he's going to switch back to Symmetra.
Yeah,
okay, I was like,
I don't
there's
think
no
so.
way. As much as I would love to see that, there's no way.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty standard start here. We'll see who wins the first round of Tug of War so far. Pelican trying to lay down some damage here on the Mei. Mag getting taken down early is not going to bode well for the Justice.
Yeah, Pelican on that Mei is just causing a lot of issues, and this Rain team is just being incredibly aggressive, and it's just catching the Justice off guard. I mean, that was a massive, massive win here. They still have 3.5 minutes to go, and they're trucking along. Now they're pushing all the way
Yeah, it's not
up.
quite the start you want on defense there. There is still time, though. Plenty of time for the Rain, but also plenty of time for the Justice to defend as well. We'll see how they come out here. Ultimate's still quite a bit away. The closest one currently at 65%.
You can see it's marked there in red just by the doors. That's all the Rain have to get to. They're doing everything they possibly can to push this Justice team back. Pelican just being an absolute menace. So ulti comes out. It's just down to Fury. Gator being a little, she's showing a little BM there. It's fine. The Justice, they're going to have to try to get back in time, and the Rain are just pushing so far up. The ice wall is there. The Justice won't have a chance to get back, and the Justice will fall down 0-2 in the series. Back-to-back tough map losses. Again, Junkertown, just a map they haven't been able to figure out so far. And the Rain will take Junkertown as well. And not the bounce back we were hoping for. We saw a little bit of hope there on the attack side for the Justice, but just unable to push any farther and giving Atlanta a little bit of what they call a softball here when it was their turn to go on attack. Didn't even have to get to that first point. That's just tough if you're a Justice fan right there. You do not want to be down 0-2 to this Atlanta Rain team. Going into Volskaya, it's an uphill battle all the way. You have to win out if you're the Justice.
Yeah, I think the other thing to say here as well, like Justice fans, don't lose hope. Obviously, we've seen struggles before in certain weeks. When a meta changes, this Justice team has shown that it takes a little bit of a while for them to warm back up to a new meta. We saw that when I believe it was the June Joust bans came out. Toward the end of May, beginning of June. And that took a week or so. There was a struggle bit of a week, and then they started to get everything under, and they started to look really strong coming into that following week. It could be something similar here where this first game is going to take a little bit of time to warm up in. We've seen some signs of brilliance, really. I mean, on the first point, they ended up with some really nice recaps. They ended up with some good feathering of ultimate usage. On this one in particular, Junkertown is not a map to measure our success on, at least so far this season. We have not looked the greatest on this map, and there's still a lot of room to improve. But now we're going to move to a map that we're much more familiar with, and that is Volskaya. The Justice have looked quite good on this map so far this season. So if we're going to turn things around, this is a good map to do it on.
Yeah, absolutely. Volskaya has been a map that, whether the Justice backs are against the wall in terms of, after the first go around, if they don't have a massive time bake, they're able to play defense. We've seen their defensive ability on these types of maps. One that, rings to my mind almost immediately is that 6-minute hold on Temple of Anubis on point B. That was an absolutely incredible hold. So we know this team is capable of playing great defense on the attack. On these style of maps, the attack has never really been the issue for the Justice. Sometimes it's, do they take the point quick, or do they kind of take it towards the end of the time bank? On Volskaya, they tend to lean towards taking it pretty quick. They're very effective on that first point for the attack. I feel like if the Justice are going to bounce back, well, they have to bounce back here in this map if they want the series to continue. But I feel like Volskaya could be that spark plug they need to really turn this series around.
Absolutely. And you mentioned defense. I mean, that 6-minute hold on Hanamura was fantastic. They've had some really strong holds on Anubis a couple weeks ago as well. Volskaya, they've had some nice holds on that second point as well, back in point B. That one being the spawn's pretty close. It's a little bit easier to defend, but at the same point, it's still about managing those ultimate and your economy all around them. They've done a very good job with it, and a lot of the big impact of it has been Mags Winston. I don't think that's come out at all today, to my knowledge. So it's going to be curious to see if we do eventually see Mags switch back to that Winston, or now that the meta has kind of shifted, if we do see him remain off of it.
Yeah, with those heroes back in play, really it's Reinhardt being the only one played so far. We haven't seen the Tracer, we haven't seen the Sombra, we haven't seen the Zenyatta. We're seeing Symmetra being one of the main DPSs going forward, and not just for that quick use of the teleporter to try to gain an advantage coming out of the spawn. But really being a massive damage dealer in these team fights and really changing the tide here. We saw Decay pop off on Symmetra as well. I'm kind of curious if we will see a Tracer or a Sombra now on Volskaya, where back before the June Joust, before those hero bans, two heroes that were used quite extensively in the meta, especially in Volskaya. I mean, that's where we really saw Sombra make a name for herself as an alternative pick to the meta. When it came down to it, Sombra was not the first choice for either the first or second DPS players, or like the third or fourth. But really, once after that first week, they saw the power that Sombra could bring, especially on Volskaya. A lot of teams started flexing that Sombra pick. So, I mean, if we're going to see them, I think we're going to see Tracer and Sombra here on Volskaya. The map plays well to them, and the Justice are going to revert back to that playstyle that we saw back in the May Melee, where they played incredibly well. This is how they're going to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, it could be one of those maps where we see it. We've also seen Sigma get played here, and Fury has shown us quite a good Sigma over the last couple weeks, or rather, I guess the last couple months at this point, since it's been a while. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of interesting things to bring to the table here, and I think the Justice are going to show us quite a bit on Volskaya. Again, Atlanta up 2-0 at the moment, but there's still plenty of room to come back, Justice fans. And again, it's the first week after not playing for quite a few weeks in the actual league itself. So give them time to warm back up. We've seen so much brilliance from this team, and it could just take a little bit of time to get back there.
Absolutely. We just got a live look inside the Washington Justice headquarters. Super Justice guy front and center. Ellie as well. Two Justice super fans cheering the team on. Big shout out to all the fans down in Washington, D.C. at the headquarters at that watch party. Having a absolutely fantastic time down there. And there you go. If May wasn't hated already, apparently Pelican is the fourth best May player in the league. I'd believe it. I would definitely believe it after that last map. Pelican did quite well on May. May's a personal favorite of mine. I enjoy playing May from time to time. I don't like playing May against Justice the way he did. I don't think that was fine. But hey, he's doing his job. It's fine. It's fine. And this is the stat I wanted to see right here. Tracer. The number one Tracer in the league is Decay. Joey, again, Volskaya is perfect for Tracer. The pulse bomb, all the tight corridors, can easily pick up a double, triple, a quad kill. It is so, these tight corridors are so perfect for Tracer and her mobility. I would be absolutely shocked if we did not see Decay on Tracer on this map.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility. Again, Tracer being the best Tracer in the league. I mean, Decay is just so strong on that hero. Tracer has been his bread and butter. He's shown us how he can be very effective on flanks. I think of like Eichenwald a couple weeks ago. He just looked phenomenal, finding some great flanks with her there. We'll see if it does come out of Volskaya. He's been playing a lot of Symmetra so far today. I believe a McCree came out at one point for one of the points of Busan. But other than that, it's been pretty heavy Symmetra. So it seems like that was the game plan, at least coming into the matchup against the Reign. They could change that up. Again, some of those heroes change from map to map. Sometimes teams will stay set with a certain game plan, though. So we'll see what they bring to the table here on Volskaya.
Kai being subbed in for Edison on the side of the Reign. Be a little change up there. We'll see this new lineup for the Reign will be able to finish it off for him. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. I'm expecting a Justice bounce back here on this map. Map leaderboard here. 5 minutes, 17-second time bank. That's pretty impressive. I'm okay. I mean, okay, Atlanta. I see you. It's not going to happen today, but I see you. I enjoy your stat from 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say 2019, their roster looks completely different
Very
at this
different.
point compared to back then.
It's like, yeah, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, it's like a sports fan be like, oh, remember my team when it was great back in the 60s? It's like, bruh, it's 2021. Who cares about the 60s? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know if 2021 to 2019 quite compares all the way back in the 60s, but we'll take that example and run with it.
Are you telling me my math's off, Joey? I don't think my math is off.
Just slightly, just a couple years here and there.
It's a couple of years. Atlanta Reign on the attack first. Justice get to play defense. And Joey, Decay's proven me wrong again. It's Ash. He'll start out with an assassin. back on Echo. Echo really making a name for herself during the hero pool bans. And Assassin really popped off on her. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out. But right now, again, with 5 seconds to go, Pelican's locked in Sombra.
Yeah, I think Sombra is a great play. That EMP can be a big game changer. The question mark for me, though, is Decay on Ashe. That is something I really did not expect to come out here.
Yeah, and Fury, like you said, on Sigma. So that was a good call there. Closer locking in Mercy. I like it. Bebe on Baptiste as well. It is map 3, and the Justice are down 2-0 in the series. Gator waiting patiently. The Justice are looking to try to hold at that initial choke point. Justice kind of spread out here a little bit. Atlanta trying to feel out where all the players are. Pelican on Hanzo, trying to lay down some damage, looking to attack that back line. And the Rain slowly moving forward. The Justice trying to hold on to that ground as much as possible. Mag will drop. The Justice still split up just a bit. So Atlanta's going to make their way around that center building onto the point.
Yeah, Pelican just playing that really well, just bouncing up and down on the Hanzo, using cover very well and just popping out, getting shots off, and then finding his way back to cover. Able to move on to this point and get the first part of the capture gone.
Kai taking down a Assassin taking down Pelican. They already got the first tickets for Atlanta here on point A. Just over 2 minutes.
Looks like tick 2 is going to come through as well. Atlanta just holding this point very strong. The Justice not able to really regain too much pressure on it.
Yeah, the Justice really struggling to hold this initial point. It's getting closer and closer to capping point A for the Rain. Pelican and Gator all picking up kills. They'll cap point A. Now the push on to point B. They have just under 5 minutes. Still a pretty decent time bank here to cap point B. Now there it is. Decay has switched to Tracer.
Yeah, a little bit later than we would have liked, but I'm glad to see the Tracer coming out in the end. Looking at the ultimates as Atlanta starts getting ready to make a move onto point B. Pelican's ultimate is up on Hanzo. Hawk's Sigma ultimate is up as well for the side of the Atlanta Rain. On the side of the Justice, Fury has that Sigma ult up too.
Dragon's coming out for Pelican, who will quickly die after releasing the ultimate. Kai picking up the double kill as well. Massa getting the res off on Pelican. Fury trying to hold on to that point. Atlanta gets the first tick. Justice really struggling to get anything going. Decay almost back up. At 75% on the ultimate. Just under 4 minutes left in the time bank for the Rain, and they're fighting hard. Assassin doing everything he can now on Genji.
It does look like the Justice will be able to hold that one off. Atlanta taking a tick home with them from point B. They have 3:30 left to work with. Ultimate-wise, not too much to work with in that department at the moment. The Mercy ult is going to come through from Massa. On the side of the Justice, Decay's ultimate is up, and we've seen him use that very effectively to get things started.
Decay using that ultimate just outside the point. Bebe and Decay picking up kills as well. Both teams trading kills left and right. As the Justice will go ahead and hold off that follow-up push from the Rain. So now the Rain's time bank under 3 minutes. Again,
taking a look at those ultimates there. Genji's ultimate is now up for Assassin. Mag with the Orisa ultimate up as well. And Fury still with a Sigma ultimate to work with. We've seen him use that quite well so far in this one. It's going to be a big potential hold for the defensive side. On the side of the Atlanta Rain, you have Ashe. The Kai has Ashe's ultimate up, and Bob is going to come out to get things started.
And there is Assassin just popping off, using that ultimate, picking up a double kill. Now a triple, it's a quadra kill. It's 4 kills for Assassin. Okay, Assassin, we see you.
That was big. That is a big, big play coming out there. We saw some ultimates come out from Atlanta Reign. We saw Assassin just say, hey, use your ultimates, I'll use mine. Let's see who comes out on top. And he takes out just about everyone with the help of his teammates. A very big hold coming out there. Took a whole minute and a half off the board for Atlanta. They have 2 minutes left to work with. They're currently, they have 1 tick on the board. So far, their highest has been 52.8%.
Assassin's going to switch over to Hanzo now. Decay again, 5% away from that Pulse Bomb. Pelican on Tracer as well. Fight back there in that side corridor. The Justice trying to hold on. The Reign are pushing back up. Decay throws the Pulse Bomb in. Only able to take down the Immortality Field. As Hawk and Gator take down Closer, Bebe, and Fury. It's going to be a cap on point B for the Atlanta Reign with 1:15 left in their time bank. That was a tough fight to lose there for the Justice. Everything looked to be going so well. Pulling out a little unique picks there in the Genji, but I liked it. Assassin popped off there a bit, picking up the quad kill. Was able to hold them off, waste a little bit more time. But now, Joey, it's the Justice's time to be on offense. We'll see how Atlanta does on defense, but the Justice have to complete the map. They have to get both points, and hopefully they can do it with a little more than $1.15 in the time bank left.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned it, but Assassin's display on that Genji there at the end was phenomenal. Atlanta wasting ultimates, Assassin just popping his own and just taking out a number of players with the assist coming through from his teammates. Really good defense there. In the end, Atlanta does find a way to capture off point B, but they only have 1:15 left in that time bank. They were able to drown off quite a bit more of that time. The Justice with a pretty effective hold there in the end, unfortunately giving it up, but really cutting down onto that time bank. So assuming the Justice can move forward here and get some nice captures, that should set us up decently well to head into overtime. But first, we got to get the captures, so we're going to see how they line up here to go into point A.
And Decay, I swear you better not be playing with my heart right now. You better come out on that Tracer. That's exactly what I want to see right now. Decay on Tracer. I feel like that is going to cause some serious issues for the Atlanta Reign if he does stay on that Tracer. Assassin staying on Echo, I'm okay with that. We'll see. We'll see how that Mag Fury combo as well. Oh, no, Fury's going to go ahead and change over to Wrecking Ball, so it won't be... Nope, back to Sigma. Thank you. So it'll be 2 shields there on the side of the Justice as well as they move in for that first choke point. We'll see if Decay tries to flank around the side, as we've seen Decay do that from time to time here on Volskaya. So Justice being a little patient here, trying to feel him out. Looking to make their move in, coming in from the right side of that choke point. And Decay now on that Hanzo, looking for information. He's taken out by Kai. They just is struggling to get through this first choke point. Decay sticking with the Hanzo pick. And the Justice now under 3
There's not too
minutes.
much happening for the side of the Justice. They're having a tough time moving forward. They don't have a movable shield except for Sigma's. They are starting to use it and starting to move forward a little bit around the truck, but still quite a bit of room to move around to get onto point A.
Yeah, it's just really tough right now. Kai's got Bob ready to go. Hawk picking up the double kill. That's just a team fight not going in the favor of the Justice once again. Just really struggling to get past that initial choke point, the positioning from the Atlanta Reign. They're split up. It's like a 2-4 defense, if you will. And it's like, pick your poison. Which way do you want to go? You go to the side with only the 2 defenders on it, you get collapsed on. You go to the side with 4 defenders, then you realize you made a mistake. But by then it's too late because the side with 2 defenders comes over. I mean, it's such a great play, and the Justice are just really struggling to break that defensive line.
Yeah, they're just not able to move up too far. They're just getting to that truck, and then it's just really tough from there to find their way around. I feel like they need to either choose 1 or 2 different things. They need to switch to something with a movable shield like a Reinhardt and just charge through, or they need to go for more of a flanking play like that Tracer you talked about. Try to get behind, try to pull people off of their positioning, and move back and move them to the point.
$1:45 left in the time bank here for the Justice. They need to cap both points A and B. They're down 2-0 in the series. This is a must-win map for them. And Atlanta is coming out strong in this series, and they're looking to possibly close it out in 3.
Okay, 1:30 left to go here. Ultimate's coming up. Decay is going to send his out. Assassins is available. Fury's on that Sigma as well as Closers on the Mercy. Bebe getting close at 90%. This is the Justice's chance to retake.
Assassin dropping down from the high ground, trying to push the Rain back. It's 1 minute left here on point A. And Justice finally touched the point, but they're going to need to spend a little bit more time on there. Fury is already down. Assassin duplicating Orisa. Didn't last too long. 2 players down for the Rain. The Justice, under 40 seconds to go. This might be their best chance, if any, to try to cap point A. Looks like they have a chance here. I don't think Atlanta's going to push up here. Yeah, they're just going to give them point A now with 20 seconds left in the time bank. It'll be 3:15, the time needed to try to cap point B.
Yeah, really strong hold there coming out from Atlanta on point A, but in the end, the resiliency of the Justice does shine through. They're able to cap that one. They give themselves just about 3 minutes to work with here on a B capture. A lot of this ultimate's still up, though. Mag's ultimate available, Decay's ultimate available, as well as Bebe on the Baptiste available.
Yeah, ultimate's definitely in favor of the Justice. Decay using the Hanzo ult, trying to clear out that top ground, but Atlanta was already pretty low. Now Pelican back on Torbjorn. Seeing an Assassin starting to do more damage on that Echo. And able to move around. Mercy right behind her.
Yeah, I really like the way Assassin plays Echo. He's done a very good job. I mean, we saw him come out with the Genji 2 earlier, but Echo, he's just been able to really make some great moves over the last couple months of action, finding ways to get behind the line. Once that hero ban came out and the team had to switch to Echo, he adapted very quickly, and we see it again here.
Yeah, the Echo's definitely a good pick here for Assassin. Now through 2 ticks. If they're able to cap point B off before the 115 mark that Atlanta was able to do, that they have to feel pretty good about that, especially with how slow point A was. They're so close to doing it now. It's under 150. The Sigma ult is being used. Assassin picking up another double kill. It's a triple kill now for Assassin. Decay taking down Pelican as well. The Justice are so close to having the time advantage here. They just need to finish this off. Sigma dropping down.
Assassin is just popping off over here.
Assassin just absolutely manhandling the Rain. So close. They just need to get back onto the point. They're now under the 115 mark, so Atlanta will have the advantage. As the time does partially reset here. 2 ticks down, just still 1/3 of the way to go here, and they have 1 minute for the Justice to do this.
60 seconds remaining.
Decay with the ulti up. Assassin not too far behind at 73%. Closer at 70%. Iris
no big ultimates available for Atlanta as well. That's something worth mentioning here. They're going to have the Baptiste ult up, but that's about all they're going to have to work with at the beginning here. Pelican, the next in line at 52% with that Tracer ult.
Decay coming back in, looking for that high ground. He's unable to get the kill off before he falls by Iris. Kai able to take down Assassin as well. The stick from Pelicans taking out the Immortality Shield instead. And now the Rain pushing outside of the point, being incredibly aggressive here. It's going to pay off for him. It's Decay now the only person back behind point, back on that Tracer. Using that mobility to constantly reset that overtime. They only have 1/3 of the way to go now. One team fight could be enough.
They are finding the kills. If the Justice can keep this up, the capture could still be an opportunity.
Assassin duplicating Sigma has a chance here. Assassin with the triple kill. It's a team kill. And at the brink, the Justice cap point B. No time left in the time bank. Well, my goodness, that was close.
Yeah, with your whole little sports analogy, we call that a buzzer beater around here. Nice little finish coming through. Not quite the display we wanted there. Is a little bit of a tougher time taking point A. They look pretty good overall on B. Unfortunately, it's just a lot of that time being drained off on point A initially. Now coming into this one, Atlanta Reign working with 1:15 in that time bank. Everything tied at 2-2. Heading into that Atlanta Reign opportunity to try to close this one out. We'll see how the Justice set up.
$1.15 is all the Justice need to hold on. They need to play some of their best defense here because the Reign won't have to go too far to try to take Volskaya. They only have 1:15 to do it, so we'll see which team will be able to hold. Decay coming out on Ashe as well. Assassin sticking with Echo. Pelican looks like we'll be locking in that Sombra once again. That Sombra being an absolute menace on this map. Again, with those tight corridors, that EMP blast has a great chance of catching 3, 4, 5 people each time it's used.
Oh no, are you actually going to get the Pharah coming out? You might.
Oh my gosh. Guy's actually going to come. No, okay, he changed. Thank you. Oh my goodness. For a second, I thought we might see Pharmacy, but definitely not. It's not season 1. It's fine. Under a minute. The Justice have to hold on. Atlanta just needs the first tick here on point A to take Volskaya, and Pelican on Tracer looking to go around through the backside, cause a little chaos.
And this is what I was talking about last time. I feel like this is what the Justice needed to do earlier, is come around on the back using something like a Tracer. Unfortunately, Decay did not pull it out quick enough, but I think this is a great way to do it. You either cause disruption on the front line and they have to turn around and find you, or you go back to the point, they realize you're capturing and they have to turn some attention to you that way as well.
Pelican picking up a double kill, and that's
going to
be
pick up
enough
the first
to do
tick
it.
as well. Yep.
That is tough. It is a 3-0 series win for the Atlanta Reign. I mean, Joey, if you were to ask me before this series started if it would be 3-0 for any team, I would have told you, no, you're absolutely crazy. Wow, that was tough. This Atlanta Reign team, I mean, you got to give them credit. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. That aggression and their ult economy just is really what won the series for them. And they never backed down. Whenever they fell back, whenever the Justice were able to win a fight and really take it to them, they fought back. The Justice just really struggled to get anything going on both offense and defense. And again, struggling on Junkertown. I mean, if they're able to figure out their issues on Junkertown, they could have made this a 1-1 map going into Volskaya. You know, this would have been extended to 4 maps, but instead, you know, it's 3 and done. And it was just a very, very, very tough way to go out.
Yeah, I mean, there were some players from Atlanta that played really well. Gator, in particular, looked phenomenal on the Reinhardt very early on in this series and just continued to carry that momentum through. Pelican looked like a freaking bald eagle at this point, just lurching down and finding kills all across the map. Just an absolute pest. I mean, you could almost make a mosquito in this game just because he was constantly finding ways to pick at our people from behind, doing a really good job flanking, and that ended up setting up a lot of strong plays for Atlanta. On the side of the Justice, again, guys, don't lose hope. This is only the first game of the weekend. And on top of that, when we saw hero bans come out initially heading into June Joust, it did take the Justice one really weak week to be able to find the adjustments they needed to settle into the new meta and then to eventually start dominating once again. Now, there aren't hero bans this time, but at the same point, this is a different meta than we saw in May. It's a different meta than we saw in June. We're heading into that summer meta, the July meta here, and there is some changes here and there, even without hero bans, that will take some adjusting for the Justice to get used to. So keep some faith in that because it does take time for some teams to adjust.
And no surprise here, the player of the match, Gator for the Atlanta Reign, just was an absolute beast on that Reinhardt. Give credit where credit is due. Doing almost 6k damage every 10 minutes, had 8.8 final blows per 10 minutes. Deaths he limited to 7.2 per 10 minutes. Had a very, very good match. I think Gator is definitely the man of the match here, especially with just how well they performed overall.
Yeah, Gator and Pelican is a very close second choice. Pelican also played phenomenally well today, and those two together, along with their teammates, able to get the job done for Atlanta. Unfortunately for us Justice fans, that does end up in a loss today. But John, aren't we back again this weekend? I think we come back to celebrate the holiday with some good old Justice action.
Yeah, it's going to be a little firework action here for the Washington Justice. The next upcoming match, July 4th. Yes, that is Independence Day here in the United States of America. And the Justice will be celebrating freedom and treating the Miami Mayhem kind of like the Redcoats back in the day. We throw in some tea bags at them. We'll be raining some justice from above. We'll be looking for our Overwatch freedom by punishing the Mayhem. And that will be July 4th. Was there enough freedom puns in there, Joey? I don't think I had enough freedom puns in there.
There was a lot of something going on in there, and hopefully a Justice victory when we come back on Sunday. Any final thoughts for this one in particular, John? Again, it was a tougher one to watch. No one likes getting 3-0'd, especially knowing the talent is there on the Justice. It takes a little bit of time to adjust and adapt once some of these things come through. So even without hero bans, meta changes in general, patch changes can have this effect on teams.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's tough. It's tough, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. We saw the same Justice team struggle a little bit with the hero bans in the June Joust. You know, it took them a little while to get adjusted to the new meta. You know, one of the questions we had going into tonight's matchup was, are we going to see a revert back to what we saw in the May Melee when Tracer, Sombra, the double shield meta, the rush meta were kind of like the two metas you picked from, and we really didn't see that. We saw a lot of picks that we saw during those hero bans. We're seeing a lot of Echo being played. Ash is making a name for herself as well. We're seeing Hanzo and even Genji being pulled out in this series as well. So we're seeing a lot of these off-meta picks, if you will, as we're still trying to figure out what the meta is going into this first week of the summer showdown. So I feel like you made a very good point here. Like, for Justice fans out there, don't get discouraged. You know, this is what we saw last in the June Joust, if I can remember these words and everything. In the June Joust, it takes time, and that's what we're seeing here too. Is we're seeing that meta being played out here, and I expect to see them bounce back. They'll have an off day in between.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Justice has looked like one of the best teams in the league for a number of weeks this season. Yes, we had that weaker week changing with the meta and the hero bans coming in from June. We've mentioned it multiple times now. And this is just one of those situations. It's not hero bans, but the meta is changing. So give the coaches time, give the team time to get things together, to continue to figure out what's going to work best for them as a team in this particular meta. And we'll see if they have it ready for Sunday.
Absolutely. So no post-game interview today. Unfortunately, with a loss, the players are not in good spirits there, as we can totally understand. Justice fans, we're just as upset as the players are, but we are here to support our players through wins and losses, and hopefully we'll see the boys bounce back here on Sunday as they take on the Miami Mayhem. Joey, it's not the way I wanted to start my holiday weekend, but I am excited that the Justice are back in the Overwatch League here. Like you said, it's been over a month, it feels like, since last time we saw the Justice play. So super excited to see the boys back at it. And looking forward to that Miami Mayhem matchup.
Absolutely. So, John, I don't know if you flashed the graphic already, but we will be back here on Sunday up against the Florida Mayhem. Go ahead and take all of that in. Get ready for that holiday weekend. Get ready to celebrate. And hopefully we cap it off with a nice little victory on Sunday.
Absolutely. So that will do it for us here today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the official Washington Justice co-stream here. Again, my name is John Fiasco Bar. I'm alongside Joey Courtside King McDermott. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We will see you all here on Sunday as the Justice look to take a win here in the week. And they're in really week one for the summer showdown here against the Miami Mayhem. We'll see you then.
Oh my goodness! That is ridiculous. Comboed up with Jerry.
Fury self-destruct is through the point and it catches Violet.
Back, he's able to finish off 5 or 2, make it 3.
Oh, rise for Justice.